the X books. We have 3 again this week. We're going to start with Hellions number 5, which is part 6 of 22 of 10 of Swords. We start off a couple days ago, 2 days ago, before the culling, I guess. It is the resurrection of Empath, who was shot in the fucking face by Grey Crow for running his goddamn mouth during the mission. And, you know, he punches out of the resurrection tube and just is a real dick to Xavier as he's, like, bringing back his consciousness. The second he just, like, gets out, he's like, what the fuck is happening? Where am I? And Xavier's like, whoa, chill. He actually says, easy, child.
Yeah. Easy, dude.
Yeah, he throws his, like, gross egg goop at him, too, and Xavier's like, everybody hates this guy, but they have to resurrect him just on principle that they resurrect all mutants, no matter how bad they are. So, basically, they're like, all right, well, you're back, and he just is a dick to everybody, to Hope and to Xavier, and we get into the story proper. We start at the Quiet Council. They're all gathered to discuss how fucking wrong this whole thing went.
Yeah, like, whoa, things got way out of hand.
Yeah, we really shouldn't have let Apocalypse do anything. We should just said, no, we put our foot down. You're not doing your weird magic garbage. But, yeah, essentially they come up with this plan because they don't want to lose mutants to this sword tournament, because if you die in the other world, there's a chance you don't come back the same, as we've established. Like, the resurrection protocol is now damaged forever, because if you die in other world, it alters your personality, and you get resurrected as an amalgam of all your alternate reality selves into one, or something like that. You're not the same as who you used to be. So they come up with this plan. It's like, what if we sent the Hellions into Otherworld and just stole the other swords from Morocco? And they're like, okay. I like it. And I think Mr. Sinister comes up with this idea, and everybody's like, all right, I guess it's better than losing, like, good mutants over this. Might as well let these, like, bad Suicide Squad mutants die in the other world.
That makes sense.
But you have to go with them, Mr. Sinister. And Mr. Sinister's like, fuck! No! I don't want to go.
Yeah, this is a really funny chapter, man. You know, to really get most of the humor out, we'd have to read it bubble by bubble, that's not happening. But yeah, man, this is just kind of Sinister at his finest, man. The writer does a really good job.
It's basically if you put, like...
So essentially what they're saying is they're going to sabotage their competition?
Yes.
Yes. They're like, we're not taking that risk.
They're going to cheat.
And, you know,
outright.
Sinister's a sneaky guy. So, you know, one of them was just smart enough to say, yeah, you can send your team out there. You just got to go with them.
He's like, I don't want to go.
If you try to do some dumb shit, you getting yourself caught up too, motherfucker.
Yeah. So, you know.
And remember, if they die in other world, it's a wrap for you. So that, you know, even outside of the tournament.
Yeah. So he gathers his team together and brings down the news to them. Sinister makes a genetic clone of himself to send instead of him. But his genetic clone also doesn't want to go. So they play rock, paper, scissors, and we actually don't know. We don't end up knowing who actually goes. Which one of them actually ends up going with the Hellions. This is a really funny and entertaining book. I'll say this. Josh is absolutely correct. I had a great time reading this, honestly. So he walks up to the Hellions and is like, all right, let's fucking go. And they pass through the portal. They have to enter Otherworld through Avalon because the external gate is sealed off by Saturnine. And in Avalon, they have someone on the inside, but he's a real dick. So they had to, like, kind of convince him to let them through. It's Jamie Maddock, who is the brother of Captain Britain, reality warping mutant, real asshole, and he is the king of Avalon at this point.
Also asshole.
Also,
a lot of those guys in this one.
He's trying to rein in a horse when they first arrive, which is important because it comes up again later. He basically is. They have to make a deal with him in order to get past. And essentially, Mr. Sinister is like, "I'll make a genetic clone out of you. So if you end up dying here, you won't be gone forever for real. And he's like, okay, but don't go without exchanging gifts. I'm a king. I must exchange gifts with you. And he basically exchanged this wild horse for Mr. Sinister's cloak. Funny little moment. So now they have a horse. They're walking through, and they can't get caught, by the way. They can't get caught trying to cheat because Saturnine will ruin their lives. So they can't...
Yeah.
They have to be real stealth about this, and they just kind of get caught immediately. Like, as they're strolling through, someone from Saturnine's guard comes by. He's like, hey, you're not supposed to fucking be here. What are you doing here? And he's like, we're just chilling, passing through, hanging out. And, they still, insist. They get onto them, and then Sinister makes a deal with Empath. He's basically like, hey, your power is basically you can mind control people for the most part. So why don't you mind control these guys into being our friends, and I'll let you make Grey Crow your slave. And he's like, okay. So he does it. And
yeah, he was really trying to violate.
Yeah. So yeah, Grey Crow is now completely under Empath's control, and he's making him do a lot of embarrassing shit. It's kind of funny. And they get horses from Saturnine's people because they mind control them, and they're on their way. Their quest continues, and that's the end of Hellions. They're just riding away into the sunset. I'm excited to see where this goes.
They violated Grey Crow.
They did.
Yeah,
they really did.
Yeah, none of these guys are contestants, but I guess I'm sure they're gonna have a pretty serious role. So look.
Yeah, I love how they integrated them. Up top is these guys aren't chosen, so we'll just make them do some petty shit that they're used to doing because they're the evil ones usually. I loved it. Very funny.
Let me ask you something. Do you think Mr. Sinister is there for ulterior motives, or do you really think he's trying to disrupt the situation with the tournament?
I think the stakes are way too high for him to be there for ulterior motives.
What is Mr. Sinister, man?
He doesn't have any interest in Avalon or in Otherworld, really. He has his interest lies in Krakoa.
He might.
And if they lose, it's kind of butting into his interest. I don't think he has to be and on top of that, he didn't want to go at all. He rock paper scissors his own clone into going.
Yeah. So, true that. Yeah. I guess that's cool. It makes it a little bit more entertaining, the fact that he really doesn't want to be there. It makes it a little bit more interesting as well. Since there's actual stakes involved now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting.
You know what? The more I think about it, this is my certified VGI very good issue of the week.
Oh,
certified VGI.
This was my personal one. I had a good time reading it. Now that and talking about it made me realize how much I liked it. I thought it was very funny and enjoyable.
Yeah, these extra sword books were all really good, actually.
I agree. It's hard to choose. But yeah, next we're moving on to New Mutants number 13, part 7 of 22.
RGC, please.
Yeah, you get this is Josh's very good issue.
Certified VGI.
Oh, RGC for the manga, VGI for the fucking...
Yeah.
Okay, because it's an issue, not a chapter. Okay, I forgot.
And if you get it wrong again, we're gonna have issues, not chapters.
All right, Brian.
That was all right. I was fired.
Is there a 10 card I can hold up? We start off in Krakoa in the sunset. Magic is just looking upon Josh's favorite character, and she gets a call from Cyclops and Cable, and she's basically like, "Hey, you, Cable, you have that sword, the Galador sword, right?" And Cable's like, "Yeah." Like, cool, that's one of the swords we need. You've been chosen to fight in a tournament to the death. Pull through. And Cyclops is like, "We're a little busy right now, but we'll come through, sure." And it's pretty casual.
Yeah, we'll pull up in a few.
Oh, fight for my life? Okay. And Cyclops wasn't there when, I guess shit went really bad. So they were like,
"Yo, this is what was really funny, right? Because so Cyclops says, whatever, I'm down. No, okay. So this is what happens. Magic's just briefing him on the situation about the tournament. She's talking to Cyclops, letting Cable know, like, yeah, you got to fight. So, like, Cyclops asks her, like, damn, like, it's a real bad situation, huh? And she's like, yo, listen, you know me, I'm down for whatever. I heard tournament, and they said me, and I ran over here. That's the first thing I did. So, I love that shit. But I don't know about everybody else. You dig?
Yeah, we really need Cable because not everybody is like a fighter in this team. So yeah, basically, like you guys are gonna pull through. Is like, hey, I don't know when we're gonna be there. Things could get complicated. We'll talk later. And she's like, all right.
He asked if there was a time frame, and she said minutes, hours, days, something like that. Nigga said, all right, we'll be back as quickly. Like, that was a real subtle way to be sarcastic. Like, buddy, ASAP.
Right now. Honestly, preferably this second. But yeah, they're doing something, as we'll cover in the next book. We then cut to Cypher. Douglas, he is the translator, the voice of Krakoa, in a sense, because his mutant abilities, like, he can pretty much communicate with anything. And he has been chosen as one of the warriors to fight in this tournament, despite the fact that he is not a warrior type. His sword
at all, apparently.
His sword is the mutant warlock, who is this techno-biological being that has been like resting on his arm as an armament for pretty much the whole time that Krakoa has been around. It's basically been his weapon that he protects himself with. And Douglas is like, shit, I'm gonna die, dude. And Warlock is like, okay, it'll be okay. I'm here, and I'm pretty cool. I can make myself into a sword, you know?
Yes, Doug, friend. Do not worry.
I like the way he talks, too.
Yeah, right?
This is fine.
I like Warlock, man. He's cool.
Self-friend, more time for preparation. This is fine. Self-friend, more time for preparation. Maybe Saturday understands that it is needed. Doug friend.
Because he's a robot, basically, you know? He's very efficient.
Doug friend and Self will work together. It's nice. They have like a cool little friendship brewing. It's kind of like the Iron Giant.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool, man.
So he's like, let's go practice. Let's go practice sword fighting. And then he turns into a sword. And he's a little heavy because Douglas is a weak boy.
Yeah.
So Krakoa is like... And Krakoa...
Yeah. With a real mean mug in the background.
The whole time. Krakoa has been a real diva this entire arc, where he's just had a mean mug in the background this entire arc when people are deciding what to do. He's like, no, fight.
No, he does not like this situation at all.
No, he wants them to fight.
Yeah, he does. He wants the island to join with him. But he doesn't exactly care for the conditions behind it.
Yeah. So
kind of like a kid when they ask, like, "Oh, can I get some money?" And they're like, "Well, you got to do some chores," and they're like, "What?
Come on."
I gotta wash the dishes. No, anyway,
at that point, Magic pops up and is like, "Hey, I can train you for the time that we have. We can at least work on making you not completely hopeless." And she just beats the shit out of him because, again, Douglas has no fighting experience really. It's not kind of his forte. So. You know, at that point, that's when he goes up to the Quiet Council. He's like, look, man, I just had a training session with Magic, and she whooped my ass.
Yeah, bad.
Krakoa and I were talking. And they're basically arguing. To Cypher's credit, Cypher's like, I don't want to back down, but Krakoa doesn't want me to enter this tournament. If we could find a way to replace me somehow, that would be great, because... without me around, and if I die in Otherworld, Krakoa won't really have a way to communicate with you guys. And Xavier's like, man, I don't make the rules. You were chosen, dude. It is what it is, Krakoa. Deal with it. And Cypher doesn't want to quit either. He wants to fight. He was chosen. He has to do it. But as a matter of pride, in a sense. But Krakoa is still with the mean mug in the background, like... It's really funny. He goes through more training with Magic. She still beats his ass. Krakoa gets really protective of him. Just because, if they do lose Cypher, Krakoa does lose a voice in the council. So they have a kind of a chat, and Magic's warning him, is look, man, you got to be all in on this, because the people that we're fighting, this is their whole life, fighting to the death. They've been fighting for millennia.
Yeah, that 1,000 years.
Just really, all they've been doing, nothing else, just brutally murdering each other. And if you're gonna step into that realm, you got to be ready. I'll try to get you as strong as I can, but you got to look yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself. You got to be all in. And that's when she leaves. And what's this guy's name? The Emperor dude? He's one of the Summers people. What? I think. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. He pops up every now and then. He just comes through and he's like, I have a plan. What if I kill you here and I take your place in the tournament while you're gone, and they can resurrect you later? Because if I kill you here, you can still be resurrected. And Douglas is like, no? Weirdo?
Nah. I don't know about that one, man.
Yeah. Warlock tries to pull up, and he's like, are you sure you're strong enough to fight me, Warlock? And he's like, maybe not by myself, but with me and Krakoa here, you don't stand a chance. So.
Yeah, I feel like you told me this already, but what is this guy's deal? Is he super duper strong?
Brian, can you look? I don't know his name. It's hard for me to ask Brian to look him up. Let me see if his name is in the credits. Exodus. Can you look up Exodus, Brian? I believe he's one of the people that hangs out at the Summers house, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But let me know when you found it, Brian. We're just gonna keep going ahead, and then we can talk about it.
I found it.
Oh, you found it. Cool. Who is he?
All right, Exodus. Let me see who he's related to. Actually, I
just want to know.
He's French Krakoan. Let's see. Confidence, empowerment, telekinesis, healing, and super generation. Resurrection to, I guess, superhuman durability, teleportation, and telepathy, all that shit. Oh, he's also a psionic vampire too, apparently.
Okay.
I kind of understood the deal, and now I'm just kind of like,
I guess psionic vampire is that he can just empty your brain, he can just absorb your psyche, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's my best.
He's a very strong telepath. I get it.
Yeah, strong boy.
He can read minds too, probably. He ain't fucking with Professor X though.
No,
I get it.
So Doug is just chilling in his room. That's when the grass type mutant shows up with Krakoa in him, and Krakoa is like, I don't like to talk to people this way. I would only do this if it was an emergency. I do not like doing this. So maybe he's right. Maybe Exodus is correct. Maybe you should find a replacement. And Douglas is basically man, look, I know you're salty about this, but they made the rules. I got to do what I got to do. I don't want to do this, but I feel like I have to. So, it'd be that way. We then cut to another training session with him and Magic. And he's doing a little better. He's improved, and it's interesting. The way he interprets it is that he sees Magic's movements as kind of like a language in and of itself, like the language of combat in a way. So he can kind of comprehend it in that sense. He's using his power to kind of see moves in that way and read people's movements, which is interesting. I like it.
Creative.
Yeah, it's a creative way to use his usually non-combatant powers. And then he's basically I can tell that by your movements, you're letting me win. Why are you doing that? And she's like, well, you're getting better, though. It's not that I'm completely letting you win. You're getting a little better. You're getting stronger. And Cypher's like, so do you think I have a chance? And she's like, the truth? He's like, yeah. And he's like, again, if you raise that sword to fight someone on Otherworld, it'll be the last thing you ever do. And there's not a damn thing you can do to stop it. Oof. That's truth. That's keeping it real 100%.
Dude, Joe.
The truth? Oh, you're gonna die still.
You're gonna get. Yeah, we're gonna have to find a new communicator for Krakoa. That's for sure.
Yeah, and
so the rest of us is gonna have to pick up the slack so that. No, that's it. Even if they win the tournament, if you die in another world, that's it. That's not even Saturnite's fault.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's not looking good for Doug Friend.
No, not at all. It doesn't look good for Doug Friend at all. That's when Doug Friend drops his sword alongside the other mutant warriors. And now they have 4 out of 10. It was a really great issue.
Yeah, man, I'm not going to lie. This was really effective for me because I actually really like Magic and Cypher now. One character that was the target of my just
vitriol,
completely random negativity, and another one that I had really no idea or clue of. And now I respect them as characters more now. I get it. And you know what? It's cool. I was just telling Brian this earlier that what I like about this Hickman run is that I don't feel like I have to know these characters. At least the way they're going about it now and the way they're being fleshed out in this tournament arc. It's even Storm. You know, I never was a huge Storm fan, but I had a renewed interest in her after that book. And I'm just kind of excited to see what they have for the rest of the Sword Bearers.
For sure. Speaking of which, we're moving on to the last X book.
Oh, actually, real quick, I want to talk about this guy a little bit. So I think it's interesting that like they kind of showed his way of learning and fighting is by comparing it to like language, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe like his way of winning a fight possibly would be like him reading them or watching their movements as if it's a language, and he'll adapt from that.
Yeah, I mean that's what's implied. That's how he plans on doing the thing.
Yeah, that's what's going to give him any type of slight chance. But I just don't think he's athletic enough. He doesn't have. That's really what it is. He doesn't have the skill, the muscle memory, and all of that. He's still a new fighter. You can know exactly what's going to happen, but you still got to react to it. You know, and.
The fact of the matter
I don't see why he can't just turn into a full warlock mode, like a whole suit with the sword and just shoot mad lasers.
I don't know.
At them, you know?
I doubt it. I mean,
right?
I don't know what Warlock's power is exactly, like how much he can do, Warlock.
He's a Technarch, man. He's Phalanx.
Oh shit, he is?
Yeah. He's a mutant. He's a mutant one. So yeah, bro. You know, the big boys, man.
Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So,
I mean, who knows? Maybe that will happen.
Warlock ain't no chump. But maybe I don't know. But he also couldn't beat. He also said that he couldn't. Him alone couldn't overpower Exodus.
But maybe Exodus
not that
is
Exodus
just like
is a chump, but
maybe that Exodus is just like that next level. You know,
that strong. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody on that council is like, well, most of the people on that council.
Mystique. Come on.
Yeah, I was saying that's why I rescinded. I was like, most people on the council are actually probably that strong. But yeah, that was it for New Mutants. It was pretty great. Next is our final X book, Cable number 5, part 8 of 22, 10 of Swords. We pick up where we left off with Cable, where he ended up on the sword station. It was an empty sword station where he used his sword to activate this strange machine they found on board. And now that the sword station is activated, the Cyclops, Jean, and Cable decide to split up and check the station for any clues as to what the fuck happened here. And that's when they get the call from Magic again. Magic's like, hey, so, you know, I'm waiting. we're all down here.
Minutes, hours, days, you know.
The whole show.
Something like that.
So, you know, they're like, well, we write down, God! And they continue with their little adventure. Both Jean and Cyclops and Cable find something simultaneously, it seems. Jean walks through a door and discovers a lone dude just standing there like, whoa, you turned your back on it, didn't you? You powered the station back on. Why would you do that? And she's like, "Wait, who are you? What are you doing here?" And he's like, at first there was just the sound of it, the rhythm of it, the screams, the silence over and over again. And basically they were all killed by whatever this thing powers. He turns around and he has this big fucking scar, like a symbol on his head, and black eyes completely. And he's like, "Death would have been better." I'm like, damn.
Death would have been better.
Yeah. So she's like, "What? Who did this to you?" And he's like, "We were unprepared. Not who, what. They tore to our defenses. After we took the science lab, at great cost, managed to deploy agents to the other side, but they never came back. They think it's a virus of a sort, but everybody who could confirm that is dead at this point, except for this guy. So Jean uses her powers to try and read his mind and discover what it was. And she can't get through because one of the first things that this virus does is it teaches you how to, I guess, guard against psychic intrusion. So they're like, and Jean gets kicked out of his brain immediately. This guy just commits suicide right after. He just pulls the airlock, shoots himself out into space. And I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, now,
wrong one.
Before saying we pledged our lives to defend this world, no one came for us. Damn, man. Apparently, there's gonna be a new Sword series coming out, and Cable's, I guess he's gonna be involved with it too. I don't know if it's gonna have anything to do with X-Men, but
it is. I think mutants.
Obviously, there's a lot going on with Sword, with that
with
lady
Avengers.
saying that she quit Sword, and then this happening, and we'll see.
We'll see. So
The future event.
So Jean walks out of there, is like, "Don't open any more doors. We're in trouble." And Cyclops is basically like, "Too late. We did the thing." And there's this big ass portal just standing right before Cable and Cyclops. And they're like,
and it's looking like kind of like end of everything kind of portal,
As if this run doesn't have enough problems. Now they have this massive gate that unleashes man-eating virus into the world. And who pops through it? These weirdos in spacesuits. They're freaky. They walk through and they're
the Veskors. The Veskors.
All they say are cleanse, dissect, learn.
Yeah,
that fucking nerd at the end has to learn. What a fucking loser.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Learning and moving on, and gaining information.
Go to school.
That's
get it.
Hit the library.
Get a job.
Eat dinner. Hop on Fortnite.
Pass the bar.
Get married. Have children. Pay the mortgage.
Save up my 401k. All right, we can do this.
Retire.
So
young.
Cyclops basically... I didn't catch this at first, but he asked Jean, "How bad am I going to feel after?" And I guess he was literally implying, like, so I'm definitely about to kill them. And she just confirms, like, "Oh, no. They definitely need to die."
They bad boys.
Don't worry. Go.
Get them out of here.
Blast away. So, they do, and, they destroy these guys, and then more people walk through the
more people
portal.
Cable fucks off to go, like, get the sword out of the station to depower it. And he does. He manages to just run over there and just pull it out real quick, and it stops the horde from coming through the portal. And then they just come back to Krakoa. And
fuck Krakoa, just coming back to just this reality period with everybody. Everyone's books would have got involved. This would have been a whole event, bro.
Yeah,
this would have been a whole entire event.
Yeah, Cable takes his place beside the Warriors. They now have 5, and we get a little bit of a sequence where Cyclops walks through the portal and talks to Magic for a second. She's like, "So, is it bad right now?" And they're both like, "Yeah, we're both on a weird place right now, but let's focus on this current problem." Essentially, like, they can't get through other worlds very easily, so they're going to try to find a way around that so they can keep contact. So, they're basically like, "Watch over Cable for us." And she's like, "Okay." It's not like I have enough to watch over, but whatevs. I have a whole.
Yeah, right. I already got to look after Doug friend over there, but that's cool.
All right.
I thought Nathan could fight, man. I thought he was good. I guess that's still their kid, so they're like, hey, man, try not to just let him die if you have the
if you can save him.
You know?
If you can save him, just don't let my son die. Yeah, I mean, this has been so cool. I really have been enjoying this, and I think I said this last week, but I'm so glad that they really are just kind of like taking their time and exploring every one of these warriors and like giving us a reason to really like invest in them, especially the lesser known ones like Douglas. And
dude, I'm still caught up over the fact that we literally almost seen the end of Marvel 616. If they didn't pull that sword out in time.
They nearly.
Bro, the dude that committed suicide, he said the same thing 2 times. Why would you do that? Like as if he was supposed to know, but he was that mad.
Yeah, he's like,
oh man, like why? This got to be more to this situation. That shit popped up out of nowhere. Like what the fuck happened?
You see what it
they
did
even
to
give
my
a
forehead?
page talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much. But I loved it a lot.
Anomaly detected in the science lab. Yeah, I guess it just kind of popped up.
Yeah,
that's scary, man.
Well, it's interesting to see where it goes. I think that will be resolved in like the Sword series that's coming because I know that it's mutant related. So it's yet another fucking X book we might have to cop. But until then, Ten of Swords still great, still trucking on.